Hello everyone, welcome to the channel, and I am here for a versus video for you guys. Now for this versus video, we'll be comparing two albums by two bands in metalcore, and those two bands are As I Lay Dying and Demon Hunter. And the albums that we will be comparing today are Shadows Are Security by As I Lay Dying and Demon Hunter with the Triptych. Now, the reason I want to compare these two albums is because, well, they are both metalcore, of course, and they both came out in the year 2005, and they're also both the third album from each band. So let's first go ahead and talk about Shadows Are Security, this album. So I will say that this is, in my opinion, not one of As I Lay Dying's best. That's just my opinion. I know some people really like this album. Some people consider this to be one of As I Lay Dying's best albums, but for me, I personally disagree with that. It is a great album, yes, but I just don't think it's one of their best. But there is some highlights on here, like Meaning and Tragedy, Confined, The Darkest Nights, which is obviously one of their biggest songs. You also got Reflection and Repeating Yesterday, which these two songs I think are pretty underrated. These are songs that really aren't brought up enough. And then you, of course, got Through Struggle, one of the best tracks on the album. I really like everything about it. This is maybe one of my favorite As I Lay Dying songs. Then you also got the closing track, Illusions, which is a pretty decent way to close the album. But yeah, there is some highlights on this album. So Shadows Are Security overall is a really good album. But the Triptych by Demon Hunter, this album, I mean, it's a fantastic album. I think it's one of Demon Hunter's best. I think there's a lot of people that would agree on that this is one of Demon Hunter's best albums. And, I mean, there's a lot of highlights on this album, like Not I, Undying. Now, Undying, I do think is kind of overrated, but not a bad song, though. You also got Relentless Intolerance, which I think is kind of underrated. I've seen some people say this is one of the weaker songs on the album, which I don't agree with that, actually. I think this is a pretty solid track. I really like the chorus to that song. You also got Deteriorate, which I also think is underrated. Deteriorate is maybe one of my favorite ballads from Demon Hunter. I really love this song. If it's not my favorite Demon Hunter song, then it's got to be top 3 for me. I mean, it's a fantastic song. You also got Fire to My Soul, 1000 Apologies, Ribcage, The Tide Began to Rise. I mean, this album just has so many great songs. So, you know, between the two albums, which one would I go with? Well, between the two, I would have to go with the Triptych. And the reason being is because, well, like I said, I think that this is one of Demon Hunter's best albums, and I don't really feel the same way about Shadows Are Security from As I Lay Dying. And also, I feel like this album is more diverse than Shadows Are Security. I mean, Demon Hunter is a very diverse band in metalcore anyways, so, you know, that's kind of not a surprise right there, but I don't know. This album, there's just no going wrong with this album, and, I mean, this album definitely means a lot more to me than Shadows Are Security. Now, that part might be a little biased for me to say, but I don't know. I just find more enjoyment from this album. I mean, there is some highlights on Shadows Are Security, but for me, it's just not as good as this album, the Triptych. So, the Triptych by Demon Hunter, this album wins for me. So there you have it, guys. That is my versus video for these two albums. Now, there's really no wrong answer here because both of these albums are very solid. So let me know which album you prefer. Shadows Are Security by As I Lay Dying or the Triptych by Demon Hunter. Feel free to let me know in the comments. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.